1. Introduction. My name is Nina. I am 29 years old. My day starts very early at 4 a.m. while my 4 children are sleeping. The house is quiet at this time. My children are Lily, who is 8 years old, Tom, who is 6, Mia, who is 4, and baby Leo, who is 2. They are the most important people in my world. My first job is cleaning empty offices. I go into quiet buildings when no one is there. While I clean, I often think about my husband, Daniel. He died 2 years ago in a car accident. One moment he was here, and the next he was gone. It was very sudden. I come home at 7 a.m. I wake my children and help them get ready for their day. We have breakfast together. It is a busy time with 4 children, but it is full of noise and love. My very kind neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, comes to help me. She is like an angel. She watches the children while I go to my second job. She always says, "Don't you worry, Nina dear." But I always have many worries in my head. My second job is a waitress at a small cafe. I work many hours standing up. My feet hurt a lot at the end of my shift. I work very hard and try to save every penny I earn. 4 children need a lot of food and clothes and shoes. Everything costs money, and it is difficult to find enough. In the afternoon, Lily and Tom come home from school. Mrs. Peterson helps them with their homework. I try to finish work and get home quickly. I cook dinner for my family. We eat together, and I listen to my children. They tell me all the things that happened during their day. Their stories make me feel happy, even when I am tired. My third job is in the evening. I work at a supermarket, putting things on the shelves. This job makes my body ache even more. I am always thinking about the bills I need to pay. The rent for our small house, the food, the electricity, clothes for the children. There is never enough money for everything. Sometimes I see other mothers who have husbands to help them. I feel very alone. It is hard to do everything by myself, but I know I must be strong. I must work hard for my children. They need me to be strong. Late at night, after my children are sleeping, I go into their rooms. I look at their sweet, sleeping faces. Sometimes I cry quietly. I cry because I am so tired. I cry because life is hard. I cry because I feel alone. But I have a fire inside me. This fire is my love for my children. It is a very strong feeling. It helps me to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning. It helps me go to 3 jobs. It helps me keep going, even when I am exhausted and worried. My children are my hope, and my love for them is the strongest thing in my life. 2. A new man. A new man started coming to the cafe where I worked. His name was Frederick. He was handsome, and he always wore nice clothes. He looked serious, but he was kind when he spoke to me. He often said small things like asking if I was okay. I was not used to strangers being kind to me. One day, I was carrying a tray and I dropped it. Everything fell onto the floor. I felt terrible. Frederick came over right away. He helped me clean everything up. He was very calm. He smiled gently and said that things like this happen. My heart felt a little strange when he smiled. He learned my name. He started asking me about my life. He was careful with his questions. I told him a little bit about my husband, Daniel, who died. I also told him about my children. He listened carefully when I spoke. It felt good that someone listened. Frederick started leaving very big tips for me. Much more money than other customers. He said, "You work hard, Nina." I was happy for the money because I needed it, but it also felt strange. Why was he giving me so much? I felt thankful, but also a little suspicious. One Saturday, I took my children to the park. This was my only free afternoon. Suddenly, Frederick was there. He said it was just a chance meeting. He was wonderful with my children. He played games with my son, Tom. He pushed my daughter, Mia, on the swing. He made my oldest daughter, Lily, laugh. Even my baby, Leo, smiled at him. I watched them together. My heart felt warm inside. It had felt cold for a long time. My neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, was also at the park. She saw me with Frederick and the children. Later, she talked to me. She said, "Who is that man, Nina? He seems rich. You should be careful, dear." I told her he was just a friend, but I started to wonder if he was just a friend. 3. Questions and feelings. Frederick asked me to meet for coffee after my shift at the cafe. It felt like a special night. It was nice to talk to him, just me, Nina. Not Nina, the mother who is always tired. We talked about simple things, about his life, about mine, a little. He was very easy to talk to. He said he worked in finance and was new in town. He made me laugh a little. He walked me home after. When we got to my door, my heart was beating fast. I thought he might kiss me, but he just smiled and said, "Good night, Nina." Soon the people in the neighborhood started noticing. They saw us together sometimes. I heard them whispering when I walked past. "Look, Nina has a new man," they seemed to say. "So soon." It felt strange. I felt a little shy, but also a little happy that someone cared. But then Frederick started asking questions about Daniel. It felt strange and maybe a little wrong. "What kind of work did Daniel do?" he asked me one day. "Did he have any problems, any debts?" I told him Daniel worked as a clerk. He was a good man. I did not understand why Frederick needed to know these things about the past. One evening, I saw something that made me very worried. Frederick was standing near my street. He was talking to a man I had never seen before. The man looked rough, not like Frederick's friends. They were talking quietly next to a dark car. It looked very secret. My stomach felt cold. Who was this man? And why was Frederick talking to him like that? Later, my kind neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, told me something important. "Nina," she said, her voice quiet, "I heard something about that man, Frederick. Old Mr. Henderson, who worked with Daniel many years ago, said Frederick was asking him questions. Mrs. Peterson paused. He asked about Daniel's old company, and he asked about some money that was missing from the company years ago. My heart felt heavy. Missing money? Daniel? It was hard to think about. Was Daniel involved in something bad? And was Frederick looking for this money? Despite these questions and worries, I found myself falling for Frederick. He was so kind to me, and he was wonderful with my children. He played games with Lily and Tom. He pushed Mia on the swing. Baby Leo smiled at him. He made them happy. And he made me feel less alone. He made me feel important. One night I was very tired after working late. Frederick was waiting near my house. He just came to me and gently took my hand. He looked at me and then he kissed me. It was a soft, warm kiss. For a few minutes I forgot all my problems. All my fears went away. I felt happy and safe with him. But after the kiss, the questions came back. Was he truly kind? Or was he only using me to find something about Daniel? My feelings were a mix of happiness and fear. I was falling in love, but I was also very scared of the truth. 4. The bad news. One day, I found an old photo. It was in Daniel's things. The photo showed Daniel when he was younger. With him was another man. At first, I did not know the man. Then, I looked closely. It was Frederick, but younger. I felt a shock inside me. What did this mean? Daniel never told me about him. My hands shook. I had to know. I found Frederick. I showed him the photo. My voice was not strong. "Who are you? What do you want?" I asked. Frederick looked at the photo. His face changed. The kind look was gone. He looked sad. "Nina," he said. "Daniel, he was not the man you thought." My heart beat fast. Years ago, Daniel worked for my family's company. He took a lot of money that was not his. He took so much that my father's business failed. My father lost almost everything. Frederick looked at me. Daniel disappeared after that. We did not know where he went. I could not speak for a moment. Daniel took money. Ruined a business? No, I said. You are lying. Daniel was a good man. I wish I was lying, Nina, he said. After my father died last year, I found old papers. They helped me find Daniel here in this town. I came to find out about the money, to help my family. He looked down. But then I met you. And the children. I did not expect that. I started to cry. Big tears fell from my eyes. "So everything," I asked, "being kind, helping, the kisses, was it all a lie to find the money?" Frederick looked up. His eyes were sad. "At first, maybe," he said softly. "I was angry about the past. I wanted answers. But then I saw you, Nina. I saw how hard you work, how much you love your children, and I fell in love with you. Please believe me." "Believe you?" I shouted. I felt so bad. He did not tell me the truth. He used me. "You did not tell me. You used me to find out about Daniel. You made me feel things that were not true." My voice was loud. The neighbors heard. Mrs. Peterson came to her door. Everyone knew now. It was a scandal. "Get out," I cried. "Leave my life. I never want to see you again." My heart was broken. It hurt more than when Daniel died. I felt completely tricked and alone. 5 very sad days. I felt very ashamed. The neighbors looked at me and whispered. It was hard to go outside. I worried about everything. I worried I might lose my job at the cafe. How would I take care of my children then? It felt like the world was against me. Then my daughter Mia got sick. She had a bad fever. She was very hot and weak. My heart ached. I needed a doctor, but I did not have money right away. I looked at her small, sad face and felt like a terrible mother. I felt like a complete failure. One morning, I found an envelope in my mailbox. There was no name on it. Inside, there was a lot of cash. It was enough money for Mia's doctor and for the medicine she needed. I knew it was from Frederick. I felt angry that he would send money, but I was also very thankful for my daughter. I could take care of her now. Suddenly, my boss at the cafe became much nicer to me. He was not angry anymore. He said something about a misunderstanding. I suspected that Frederick had spoken to him. Maybe he used his money or position to help me keep my job. He did not come to see me directly, though. He stayed away. Instead, Frederick went to see Mrs. Peterson. He asked her to talk to me. Mrs. Peterson came to my house. She looked sad but also kind. She told me that Frederick was very sorry for everything. He told her that his feelings for me were real. He said he did not care about Daniel's money anymore. He only cared about me and the children. Mrs. Peterson also told me something else. Frederick had spoken to his own family. He told them he would not look for revenge or the money. He told them he chose me. He chose love instead of the past. Mrs. Peterson said she believed him. She said he looked like a man who had lost everything. 6. Our talk. I agreed to meet Frederick. It was in the park, the same place he met the children. I felt nervous. I walked slowly, thinking about everything. When I saw him, my heart felt strange. He was sitting on a bench. He looked tired and sad, not like the well-dressed man I first met. His clothes were simple. He looked unwell, like he had not slept. He stood up when he saw me walking closer. "Nina," he said softly. His voice was quiet. "Thank you for coming." I just stood there, looking at him. He looked down at his hands. "I am so sorry, Nina. I was wrong. What I did was very wrong." He looked up at me again. His eyes looked red. I was thinking only about the past, about what Daniel did. It made me not see clearly. He stopped for a moment. "But meeting you, meeting Lily, Tom, Mia, and Leo, that changed everything." He took a deep breath. "My feelings for you, for the children, they are real. They are the most true thing in my life now. I love you, Nina, and I love your children." He seemed truly sad. He told me something else. He said he used his own money to help the people Daniel hurt years ago. He said he wanted to make things a little better for them. He wanted to do something right. He looked at me and tears started in his eyes. I felt tears in my own eyes, too. We both cried for a few minutes, standing there in the quiet park. Then he spoke again, his voice shaky. "Nina," he said, "can you ever forgive me? I know I made a big mistake, but can we try again? Can we start our relationship again, honestly this time?" He looked at me with so much hope, but also sadness. It was a hard question. My heart was still hurting, but seeing him like this, hearing his words, I knew he was telling the truth now. 7, a new start. I looked at Frederick. I saw the truth in his eyes. I saw the love there too. My heart was still sore from the past, but I knew something important. I knew that I loved him. Life had been so hard for so long. I thought about my children and their future. I thought about how kind Frederick had been to them, and to me, even with the difficult truth. Could we really start again? Could we build something new after everything that happened? It felt like a big step. But looking at him, I felt a hope I had not felt in a long time. I took a deep breath. I whispered my answer. "Yes," I said. "Yes, Frederick, we can try. We can try to start again." Frederick looked so happy when I said this. It was like a heavy weight was lifted from him. He held my hand tightly. From that day, things began to change, slowly but surely. Frederick used his knowledge and his contacts. He helped me look for a different kind of job, a job that was just one job, not 3, a job with regular hours and good pay. It was hard to believe at first, but he found one for me. It was a job where I could use my skills, and it paid enough money for my family to live without constant worry. With this one good job, I could finally stop working at the cleaning company and the supermarket. I quit my other 2 jobs. It felt strange at first, having evenings free, having more energy. For the first time in years, I wasn't always completely exhausted. Soon after, we started looking for a new place to live. Frederick helped me find a house that was better for us. It wasn't a very big house, but it was bigger than our old one. It was brighter inside, and it had a small garden outside. There was enough space for me and all 4 children. It felt like a real home, a place where we could all be comfortable. Moving was a lot of work, but it was exciting. The children loved the new house, especially the garden. They could play outside safely. Frederick was wonderful during this time. He helped with everything. He was always there. The children loved him more and more each day. He played with them, he listened to them, he helped them. He became a loving father figure for Lily, Tom, Mia, and Leo. Our new life together had truly begun. 8, my happy tears. Months went by. Many months passed quickly. Life changed very much for me and my 4 children. It was very different now from before. I often stood by the window or on the small step outside and watched Frederick. He played so happily with the children in our garden. It was a small garden at the back of our new house, but it was big enough for them to run and play. Lily, my oldest daughter, was growing fast, and she was teaching Frederick a new game she learned at school. Tom, my son, always wanted to show Frederick the pictures he drew or tell him about his day. Mia, my younger daughter, laughed a lot when Frederick played with her. He often swung her around and around until she was dizzy and happy. Baby Leo was growing too. He was often sleeping during the day, and sometimes Frederick held him gently in his arms while he watched the older children play. I felt different too, not just life around me. I was not tired all the time now. My body did not ache from working 3 different jobs every day and night. I had only one job now, a good job with good hours. I had more time for my children after school. I had more time for myself to rest or read. I smiled more easily now. I laughed more often. It felt strange at first to be happy after so many sad years. Mrs. Peterson, my kind neighbor, still lived in her old house near us. She came to visit our new, brighter house sometimes. She would sit and watch us all together in the garden. She smiled a big, warm smile. She was happy to see that we were doing well, that we were a family again. She was like family to us, my only support for a long time. In the neighborhood where we lived now, people did not whisper about me anymore. The bad stories about Daniel and Frederick were finished. Now, when they saw us all together, a happy family, they looked surprised. Our story was an unexpected, happy ending for them, I think. One beautiful afternoon, Frederick walked towards me in the garden. He was holding little Leo carefully. Leo was asleep on his shoulder, his head resting against Frederick's neck. Frederick looked at me with so much love and kindness in his eyes. He kissed me softly on my cheek. "Are you happy, my love?" He asked me quietly. Tears came to my eyes. They were warm tears that ran down my face. But these tears were not sad tears like before. They were tears of pure joy and thankfulness. My life was very hard for a long, long time. I had many difficult days and lonely nights. I cried many sad tears about Daniel, about money, about being tired. My hard life took me through pain and darkness. But it also brought me to this moment, to this day. It brought me here to this small, bright garden with Frederick and my 4 beautiful children. My life is still the life of a mother. I still work hard for my children and take care of them. But it is not so hard like before. It is easier now. It is full of love and happiness. These are my happy tears.